NOMAD has released a Route 66 palette, and I am so excited to play with it. Hi everyone, welcome back to my palette. So I'm so excited. Today we're going to be playing with the new NOMAD America's Route 66 Intense Color palette. So here is what it does look like when you open it. I think it's actually really cool. They do come with a little tissue paper. I feel like most brands tend to give you a plastic sheet, which I kind of like that they did this instead. I did unfortunately have one casualty with the shade Comet 2, but I was able to kind of press it back in. As you see my little tissue paper, I did use that with a little bottle just to push back in, but it looks like it went all back together, so that is good. This does kind of come in one of those like padded mailer things, so I don't know if that isn't actually the best, but I think that even brands that like pad it with like bubble wrap and all of that, I still have had that issue, so I really do appreciate the fact that it seems like NOMAD is doing their best to make it pretty eco-friendly. They do tout that it is completely plastic-free, so I think that is super cool. In the package, you also did get this little cool thing, Route 66 NOMAD, and it does tell you some information on the back. I actually have seen a lot of course, other YouTubers who get PR from the brand have something like this included, but I feel like a lot of times brands don't include something like this, so I do think it is really cool that they did include this with the palette. Some details about the palette. So it does retail for $49. Let's go ahead and go through some of the swatches. On the road again, an iconic Route 66 round trip through 18 colors of earthy neutrals accented by flashes of bright neons, formulated with extra fine pigments for buttery feel and bountiful color payoff. 10 memorable mattes, 4 scenic shimmers, and 4 bright as neon sign sparkles inspired by the quirky stops and stunning landscapes of the U.S. Route 66. Infused with jojoba oil to help keep skin hydrated and colors fresh no matter how long your road trip. Cruelty-free and vegan, 100% plastic-free from our house to yours. I think that's actually super duper cool. One thing I do think that is super cool that they did encapsulate or show within the palette. Hopefully I have a photo of flashing up because I have played with mine now, but they did create a shade for like each state that Route 66 does travel through, so I do think that is super duper cool. I think that is all the details I wanted to talk about. Let's go ahead and get started with our first look. For our first look, I'm just really going to focus with like the more tealy kind of green shade, so I'm going to take the shade Blue Whale right here. Just taking this Blend Bunny B1 brush, I'm going to focus this kind of how I normally do. So on my outer corner, if you're new to my channel, I like to do my eyes in terms of thirds. So basically just dividing it up into that outer white part, the colored part of your eye, and the inner white part. So I'm just filling in our outer white part. I'm also going to do kind of the same thing on the bottom. So just taking this to the same spot, and I'm just going to flick it up. Not really worrying if it gets a little bit too messy. I'm mainly focusing on getting the true pigment that I want. Next, I'm going with this shade here called Scenic Byway. I'm going to be using the Blend Bunny B5, and I'm going to take this mainly into our crease, starting or going towards that like colored center part of the eye. And then I'm also going to use this to go around the edges and blend everything out. And so far, everything is blending out so easy. I really like that these colors are so like within the kind of same color family, so it just makes it so seamless and easy to blend. You might notice on this side, which I haven't decided. Originally, I was just going to do like a neutral eye with a lot of the shimmers, so I did go in with Cadillac Ranch, the brown. First on this side to this side, probably is a little bit deeper, but I kind of redid the colors. I don't know yet if I'm going to add that in or not. We might just see, and then I can always do that. But just kind of let you know if you want that more like depth, that is what I did. Let's go ahead and just take a big fluffy brush. So this is one from Glamlight. It's like one of the Halloween collections. There's no name though. I'm just going to use that to start softening our edges. Now, this is my first time working with NOMAD shadows, and so far, I would say they just blend really easy. I'm going to go in with I think it's pronounced mange, small blending brush, and I'm going to dip in with the shade End of the Trail, this like kind of greeny shade. I'm going to focus this mainly on the inner part of the eye. I really appreciate the fact of the amount of variety of like even greens that they have in this palette, that I feel like you're even able to use these two shades that we did, but get several different looks because they have like this kind of more vibrant-esque green, they have like a lighter green, they have a more like tealy pastel kind of shade. I just think it really helps to add like a nice amount of variety. I'm going to take some of that under the eye as well. I don't know if I'm going to take it on the outer corner. I didn't, maybe a little bit. So just some of that shade, just to go around and soften everything. I might re-intensify this outer corner just to get a bit more like pigmentation. So probably just do that, follow like the same original steps, just doing another layer. So let me do that and we'll be right back. Okay, so I feel like that really helped just to kind of bring everything up. I still feel like I'm missing a little bit of the depth on this side, so I am going to go ahead, dip in with that Cadillac Ranch shade. Same brush I used from Blend Bunny, I think it's the B1. I'm just going to take just a little bit on this outer corner, just layering. Hopefully it will give me the depth that I'm looking for. Close enough. I don't want to spend too much time because it's not going to match exactly. But that's okay. I think once I put the shimmers on, it should do the trick. So these shimmers, at least a little bit that I have played with, they do seem to pick up pretty well with the brush, which is nice. My preferred preference generally is still to use my finger, so I'm going to start off with Blue Swallow. So I'm just packing this basically in the center of the lid, slightly overlapping to the edge. And then I kind of like to go, I feel like I feel for like where the bone is, and I kind of just tap it in there to kind of blend it out a little bit. Let's go in with Rest Haven, that's like green. Same thing with my finger, really just pushing that in. And then, just because, a little added sparkle, I'm taking this like flat brush, there's sadly no name, but I'm gonna take Gateway Arc and just popping it in there to get a nice little extra layer of brightness. I'm gonna with the brush as well, bring a little bit of the shimmer kind of just down underneath the eye. But I think that looks so pretty, and honestly, such like a good look for like summer. I love it. I feel like summer makeup to me is just really all about color. Alright, here is the completed look, and honestly, I really love this. I love how colorful it is. I love how bright it is. It's a lot of fun. So far, I am super loving this palette. I think it's a really good one. So let's go ahead and move on to our next look. Okay, so for our next look, I'm kind of thinking of doing something fall. I'm assuming it's the fact that it's like super rainy where I am right now, so it's making me feel, of course, for all of the fall vibes. And I think especially looking, like, I feel like this quadrant here feels pretty fall-esque if you just focus on this half with like the neutrals. So I think I'm gonna try to make that. I really do, of course, want to use the sparkly orange, but I also, I think, want to play with this hot pink. So we're just going to venture out and play around and just see. So I think I am going to start off with, let's do Go West, this like warmy brown shade. I am just using a Jessup number 10 brush. I'm just gonna buff that throughout my crease. I can't decide if I want to do, you know, super similar to how I normally do, but we're just gonna wing this together. So far, if I haven't said, but I think I have, the formula of Nomad is seriously so good. I really had no, like, thoughts that it wouldn't be good. I think I've always, I don't know why, I just haven't tried them, and I'm really happy that I finally did, because seriously, for this $49 price is such a good price, especially for like the amount of shades that you get with this palette. It is definitely a really good one, and I'm happy I bought it. I feel like it's really gonna be just this summery, springy, like I said, transitions to fall. And I really love that. I mean, I could almost even see doing something that's like slightly Christmassy. Okay, I didn't say, but I just kind of buffed that all around the eye. Next, going in with the Jessup number 12, I'm just going to dip in with the shade On the Road again. I'm gonna start working some of this throughout my crease. I'm thinking I kind of am probably gonna actually do a look similar to how I normally do. Just because I'm testing like the palette, I'm not testing my skill, if that makes sense. So more, I wanna see like if I'm able to create some easy looks. Run some underneath the eye as well. Jumping back in with our original brush just to soften everything out. And then I think I am going to go ahead, just to help to deepen up the look, I am going to take our darker shade Cadillac Ranch. I'm going to take the Blend by Navy 1 brush, and kind of per my normal, so I'm going to do this white color part here of the eye to fill that in and give us some depth. I would love to know, do you all have a preference? I feel like I tend to, when I build my looks, I do darker shade to lightest. Do you have a preference of doing lightest to darkest? I feel like I kind of get the same look either way. And I guess even in this case, maybe this is a good test and I should remember this for the future. I do feel like there are certain like brands and shadows that I will use that I don't feel like layer up very well, or like I'm not able to do like I'm able to do with this look. Like I have to start with the darkest, because if I don't, like if I do like a light shade and then I go over it, it just will not be as pigmented. Definitely let me know your thoughts. Alright, so I'm gonna keep it where we are for right now because I want to do some shimmer. So I do think I'm gonna go ahead and take, I believe it's called Manger Moss. It's like this metallic-y orange shade. Just gonna use my finger and I'm gonna tap that kind of where the colored part of our eye is. Ooh, that is gorgeous. Do you see the fall vibes? But should I go in with the pink? Like, is the pink too much? Let's just do just a little bit. So I'm gonna tap a little bit with my finger. Ooh, ho, 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 ho. That shade is neon as heck. I don't know if I would say it fully works, but I also don't hate it. The shade is really, really pretty. Even if this probably doesn't work the best, hopefully I'm able to show you how these shades would work. I think to kind of help the look a little bit, I'm gonna go in with the shade Comet 2. That's the one that kind of came in broken with just my finger. And I'm gonna take this between the two, the orange and the pink, just to see if we can kind of save this a bit. Oh, that's nice. I really love the shimmers. This is so nice. So here is the finished look, and honestly, I really like this one. I love how I was able to create this kind of, again, fall, very warm look, and I really love it. I really just love the color story of this palette. I love the formula. I am so excited to create some more looks with this. Definitely make sure to subscribe or check out my shorts tab. I will be having videos coming out Wednesday and Sunday, creating 2 more looks. I'm going to do my best to make sure that I played with every single shade in this palette. So definitely tune in if you want to see 2 additional looks playing with this palette. But I think that is going to be it for me. Final thoughts, I love this palette and I am so excited to check out more from NOMAD. It's just a beauty, and I don't know why I haven't checked out from NOMAD before, to be honest. Like, I am so unbelievably impressed with everything they came out with. Like I said, things that matter to me as a human of, you know, it seems being, you know, plastic free, very eco-friendly. It's just really good, and I'm really excited to continue to see what comes out from the brand and to be testing it out. That is going to be it for me. I hope that you're having a great rest of your day. Please subscribe if you did enjoy this content. I would absolutely love to have you here, and I will see you in my next one. Okay, bye.